that was as close as it gets. We're on this remote island and suddenly confronted by the most terrifying looking creature I have ever seen. The bearded pigs of Borneo. These animals live in Bako National Park, which is a peninsula on the coast of Borneo. And the only way to get there is by boat. Once we got there, there was no proper landing. We actually had to jump out of the boat into the water and wade to shore. We made it. Welcome to Bako. And that immediately gave you this sense that you are not only on the other side of the world, but you are in a very, very remote place. So we came all this way to search for the rare and endangered proboscis monkey. But being in the jungles of Borneo, there is no shortage of things that can bite and sting you. And it did not take long for us to encounter our first dangerous animal, a viper. And being that remote, that far away from any hospital, a bite from that snake would have been potentially catastrophic, maybe deadly. And we knew what else was lurking around on this island. And so we had to have our wits about us and we kept our eyes peeled for danger. But we continued on, fully aware that the entire time we were being watched. He's moving in that tree right there. Oh, we've spotted him. We spotted the proboscis monkeys, guys. Go, go, go. I see it. Let's go, let's go. So at this point, we're being followed by this troop of proboscis monkeys. Now, these are some of the most unique looking primates on the planet. The reason we wanted to see a proboscis monkey is because they're endemic to Borneo. This is the only place that you can see them in the wild, and they have the most iconic nose out of any monkey or primate on the planet. It looks so, well, I'll let you be the judge of what it looks like.
There's one. There's one right there. Those are females, not the male. We need the male. Let's go back down. Watch these steps.
And it's only the males that have this trait. It was really frustrating when we would finally get a clear shot at one of these monkeys only to find that it was a female.
Trying to encircle this group of monkeys to get a clear shot of the dominant male.
It just seemed like they were taunting us, daring us to continue moving further to try to get this shot.
Got the binoculars, team's right behind. We saw our first proboscis monkeys. The male hopped down on a tree over here.
They're super active and they're moving so fast through the canopy that the crew and I had a really hard time getting a clear shot. But we knew we could not leave this expedition without getting a clear look at that iconic nose.
Found the dominant male, but he just ran back to the boardwalk side, so here we go.
And as crazy as it sounds, I mean, we hiked all over that peninsula. We went through the mangroves, up the hills, to the point, all the way back to the jungle, only for these monkeys to lead us right back to camp. And that's when we saw them.
Oh gosh, guys, get your cameras.
The bearded pigs of Borneo.
Huge pig. These are the craziest, probably the scariest looking pigs you could ever see. I think we're gonna be okay as long as we keep like at least 20 feet. Come this way, guys, stay close to the room. These wild pigs are endemic and can only be found here. And they are intense. They almost have an elephant trunk looking snout. And then of course that iconic bearded face. More than that, they're just huge. This is a very intimidating looking pig. And I'm looking at the one now, I don't think this is a boar, I think this is a female. But usually where there's one pig, there's more, so we need to be super careful. These pigs can be very territorial and aggressive if provoked. I'm keeping my eyes right on it.
The emotion you feel when you see an animal like that for the first time, not expecting it, it is startling. And I was so happy in that moment that we were not any closer.
That is like 4 times the size of a warthog from Africa. It's like a bear pig.
But this didn't deter us. We were still trying to get that shot of the proboscis monkey, but now we just have one more thing we need to worry about as we're following the troop along the camp.
Careful, guys, let's go this way. All right, guys, the monkey, the male proboscis monkey, has finally moved into a position where we can get some great footage. What you are seeing right now is footage of a male proboscis monkey. Gonna jump. Yes! Yes! And he just jumped. That was awesome. These monkeys are not only interesting to look at, they're pretty specialized too. They're actually excellent swimmers, and that's why we're here at this coastal park. They like to be near the water, so they live in and around mangroves because a lot of what they eat are like young leaves and shoots of the plants that grow in this part of Borneo. And a lot of times they will go out into the water to swim. Believe it or not, they have webbed toes and feet. These primates are some of the best swimmers of any monkey on the planet. They're almost an aquatic species of primate. So if there was ever like a monkey Olympics, the proboscis monkey would be winning all the swimming competitions.
We're not likely to get a better shot than this. Maybe, I don't know. But if this is as good as it gets, this is exactly what we came to this park to see. The male proboscis monkey, one of the most iconic primates, not only here in Borneo, but in the whole world.
I mean, a face only a mother could love, right? But that is really where this story began, because what happens next was so intense. So we're finishing up getting shots of the proboscis monkey, and that's when we start to notice these shadows moving through the brush. And one by one, the pigs start to emerge to the point where they are surrounding us. We are coming up on a big group of bearded pigs. This could be a really good opportunity to see one of the boars. There's also some babies, so this could also be a little sketchy. They're super protective of their young. Now, it's important to know that I had very little knowledge of this animal before arriving on this adventure. But what I did know is that feral hogs in the United States are extremely territorial, very aggressive, and have maimed people. So anytime I see a big hairy pig, I immediately am on red alert, because that is potentially a very dangerous animal. But what I did know in that moment was, right here, just looking at the bearded pigs of Borneo, they are very bizarre and super intimidating. And it seemed like there was just more and more and more of them appearing, and it got to the point where we were blocked in. There was no way to escape without crossing the paths of a group of these hogs. And man, the full-grown ones, those big boars, they can get up to 300 pounds. And let me tell you, you would not want to cross paths with an angry 300-pound bearded pig. And as we tried to remove ourselves from this group of hogs, that's when we accidentally got way too close to some of the young. You have to remember, anytime you get between an animal and its young, you are creating a potentially explosive situation. Look at the size of that pig. It's coming this way, guys. The male's in here, it's behind us. And almost right away, we were sandwiched between the mom and a massive boar. That's the female. The male's right here. Turn your cameras around, real slow. Real slow. Right in there. And it was sizing me up. It was staring me down, sizing me up through the brush. And we could all see those tusks. That's the business end of that hog. The most intimidating thing besides their size and those tusks is the way that these hogs stare you down. They lower their head, and those eyes with the giant pupils just shoot daggers. It's one of the most terrifying stare downs that you could ever have with an animal. It looks like a cross between a warthog, wild feral hogs in America, and for lack of a better term, a bear. This is like a bear pig. They are huge. Look at the nose protruding from the beard. That is an intimidating animal. And while it appears that I could have easily put some trees between myself and the hog, they're incredibly agile. They could just rip through that underbrush in a millisecond, and they're on me. Now, given all my experience over the past decade working with other apex predators and dangerous species, I knew the best bet for us in that moment was to remain as calm as possible. Gotta keep an eye on that female behind us. Maybe Andrew, if you back up over there, let's give this pig a pat. Make no mistake about it, while these pigs just seemed curious about our cameras and we're getting all this great footage, I knew
everything could change in a split second. Here she comes. Now, while I was delivering that line to the camera, I noticed the crew was now attracting the attention of the boar, and they were starting to get in a bad spot. So I tried to divert its attention back on me. You're fine, you're fine. Stay calm. He's calling the female back. Stay calm. Wow. That was the pig encounter of a lifetime. So cool to get up close with a family of bearded pigs right here in Borneo. Now I have to mention, after having this experience, I learned that these pigs are not nearly as dangerous as the feral hogs that we have in the United States. But anytime you're dealing with wildlife, it is always better to be safe than sorry.